This video will contain 3 sections. Explaining how speech synthesis works. Explaining how speech synthesis could be better. Engaging with other opinions. Part 1. How speech synthesis works. A speech synthesizer is a program that takes input, text, and converts it into an audio format, which we can then listen to. It has 3 stages. Text to words. Words to phonemes. Phonemes to sound. Text to words is the initial stage of speech synthesis, generally called pre-processing or normalization. It's mainly about determining which way would be most appropriate to read a piece of text. It takes special objects such as numbers, dates, times, and special characters and turns them into words. Once the synthesizer figures out what words need to be spoken, it then has to generate the sounds that make up those words. It needs a huge list of words and details on how to pronounce the word. Theoretically, if the synthesizer had said list, then it just needs to read a word and look it up in the list, then read out the pronunciation the list gives. An alternative approach is breaking down the written words into individual letters or syllables and then generate phonemes that correspond to them. When the computer has converted the text into a list of phonemes, it has 3 choices. Use recordings of humans saying the phonemes. For the computer to generate the phonemes itself by generating basic sound frequencies. Imitate the technique of the human voice. Part 2. Why speech synthesis sounds so bad. Synthesized speech sounds horrible. For example, here is an audio clip of Mr. Beast, a YouTuber, saying something, and then here is an audio clip of a synthesized version of Mr. Beast saying the same thing.
Last one is you to take your hand off this $1 million stack of cash. Keeps it.
Versus.
Last one of you to take your hand off this $1 million stack of cash. Keeps it.
I'm sure you can tell which one is real and which one is fake. But why does it sound so horrible? Monotone. No speech synthesis systems have the ability to have emphasis in their speech. In normal speech, we display emotions through pauses, tones, and timings of syllables. Concatenated speech. Database speech synthesis draws on a library of hours of natural speech, and plays back sections of it in order to generate the word. Part 3. Counterarguments. Argument. Speech synthesis has come a long way, it is already almost indistinguishable from human speech. Counterargument. While some synthesized speech is very close to human speech, for example,
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty!
Versus.
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty!
There are many fatal errors in synthesizing speech that make it obvious that it is synthesized and not real. Take for example the previous 2 audio clips with Mr. Beast. Conclusion. Undistinguishable speech synthesis might not be possible with current technology, however it is very likely that soon it will be made possible with new technology.